welcome back to Car Juice. Today I'm going to be giving you guys the squeeze on the 2026 BMW X5 50e. This is the final year for it, which is honestly kind of insane. The first ever cool video that I did on my channel was the X5 45e, so this car means a lot to me. I wanted to make sure that I shared all of the changes that they made for the 2026 model year. Like all of my reviews, there's no better place to start but in the trunk. You finally are gonna get 2 chargers with your car. Previously, you had to buy a $110 adapter, but they are finally throwing in the level 2 charger for free with the 50e, which is huge. You're still gonna get the same 15-foot flexible fast charger. Power and those sort of things remains the same at 483 horsepower. You're also gonna keep air suspension. None of the look has really changed. This is the M Sport package, so you're gonna find that it's a little bit sharper. We have been adding quite a number of different M Performance accessories to these cars. There's a pretty slick rear spoiler you can add to the back of these, but with this being the M Sport trim, you're gonna get some cooler wheels. This color is called Carbon Black Metallic. It's only a $650 upcharge. This one is missing the M Sport Professional package, so it's not gonna have the optional upgraded red brake calipers or blue brake calipers. It's also gonna be missing the blacked out headlights and the blacked out kidney grille. The front end is also the same as the previous generation X5. Basically, you're gonna have some very bright LED headlights with cornering functionality. You're still gonna have the ability to get an illuminated kidney grille. The camera system, which is excellent, is still available with those 4K cameras. Charging has been marginally improved as well, so they really have been making a big deal about BMW's charging capability and our just general electrification of our fleet. So they have upgraded the charger from a 7 kilowatt hour charging capacity to an 11 kilowatt hour charging capacity, and they boosted the amperage to 48 amps when available. So that's gonna result in about a 25% faster charge time when you're plugged in to your home charger. So you're still gonna be charging overnight. While we're looking at the window sticker, I wanna mention that they did increase the price just a hair from the previous 25 model year. They bumped it up $700. The previous MSRP on this guy was $73,100. Now it's $73,800. The MSRP on this bad boy is $81,125. Let me know if you guys want me to do a video where I go through and do another build on the 26 model X5 50e. The back seat is still very comfortable on the X5. I presume that the next generation X5 50e or 60e or what have you that they come out with is going to be roughly maybe a touch larger, maybe a touch lower than this one is, but you should still be pretty comfortable in the back. And with the new model coming out next year, you guys are probably wondering, why would I go ahead and invest in a 26 with the 27s on the horizon? So the cool thing is BMW, thankfully, at the end of all of their model years, goes ahead and starts chipping in a bunch of money in terms of rebates on a lot of their different cars. So right now, there's a $2,500 rebate on 26 model X5 50es, 3.99% financing. If you go down to 48 months, it's even lower at 2.99% financing. Okay, but that's the little sales spiel, the reason why you might want to do a 26 over a 27 when the redesign comes out. Headroom-wise, in the back of the 50e, you're going to be pretty solid with about 4 inches or so of headroom, and then legroom is equally solid. Sitting behind a 5'8" driver, you're going to have about 5 or 6 inches or so of legroom. Available rear heated seats and rear climate control is an option for the climate comfort package. That also is going to add front ventilated seats, which is actually pretty worth it. When they came out with the redesign on the 50e, they made the ventilated seats much better. If you're sitting behind a 6-foot driver, you're probably going to have about 4 inches or so of legroom. Still have a USB Type-C charger here in the back, plus a small little adapter so that you can put like coat hangers, keyboard trays, various accessories with the travel and comfort system. Hopping out, we'll go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. I'll show you some of the big changes, some of my favorite things on the 50e, and go over some of the other small updates that they've made for this body style. So, driver's seat, these are the Sensitech seats. These are very comfortable, very breathable. You can get leather for an extra $2,500, I believe. If you want to do that, the real reason is just because you want the leather smell. I have a lot of customers that have back issues and they rant and rave about these seats over and over. They are super comfortable. The leather seats are prettier, but these are also very, very comfortable. There's no reason to really upgrade. The only real change on the inside of the 50e that they have gotten rid of gesture control on all the 26 model SUVs. So no more using your finger to turn the volume up and down on the radio. They decreased the price for the premium package because of this, which is nice, but no more finger, can't use that for the radio anymore. Other small changes, the car has had a couple of updates with the 8.5 system. This is really starting to grow on me. There is a lot of good functionality. The self-parking, the self-driving is excellent, and the car is also able to do hands-free lane changing just by looking at the mirrors if you have your GPS running and you equip it with the $2,500 driver assistance professional package. You still have 17 colors on the interior lighting, and there are a numerous amount of good features. Fuel economy is also the same at 58 miles per gallon whenever you're plugging in and using that. And hopefully this generation is going to be more reliable. Unfortunately, there was a glitch where if you turn the climate control on before the engine had kicked on within the first 15 minutes of kicking it on, it would cause a check engine light. That was very frustrating, and thankfully they have seemed to work that out a little bit. 44 miles on a full charge with the electric mode, and 524, roughly 550 miles if you're on a full tank of fuel. 18-gallon gas tank, so a little smaller than the X540, but with that extra 483 horsepower, the 50E is very fast and very smooth with the air suspension. Speaking of air suspension, you can lower this into grocery getter mode with the push of a button in the back of the car, and easily you can switch this between 5 different driving levels. This is kind of a loading zone. You can't drive in the low level, but 2.5 inches of total ground clearance depending on where you have the car set to. Also, if you kick it into sport mode, it's going to be 1 inch lower, and you're going to have some really slick red lights all around the inside of the car, making it look a little bit sharper. Plus you get this cool sport badge up on the top and an upgraded gauge view where the car looks super sporty, and a tachometer up in your heads-up display. Last things, you can use your phone as a key. BMW is still giving you 2 keys with the X550E. With the next generation, they are going to do what they're doing with the new iX. Link to that video in the description below, where they are only going to give you 1 key and then use a credit card key for your backup, and start pushing for people to use their cell phone for all of their key functionality and all that kind of different stuff. But that's all that I have to talk about on the inside. I'm going to go ahead and put one of you guys up here on the ceiling, and then I'm going to put another version of you guys up here on the dash, and we're going to take this thing on a bit of a spin. All right, so in the driver's seat of the 2026 BMW X550E, you're gonna still be in a very comfortable cabin with air suspension, with tons of horsepower, with a cool M steering wheel. If you choose the upgraded M Sport body kit, you always get a nicer looking steering wheel that's a little more engaging than the previous generation, which is quite nice. You also are going to have a pretty reactive and comfortable chassis. The only difference driving-wise between the X550E and the X540i is the X550E weighs a little bit more, has a little bit more power, and rides a little bit smoother because of that air suspension. 0 to 60 time, the X550E is also quite quick with a, anywhere from 4 to 4.6 seconds 0 to 60. This car, it scoots whenever you want it to. The other thing that's kind of cool with the X550E is you don't really notice it shift between gears whenever you are kind of running it around town. The electric kind of component also dampens the shift feel, so you don't feel that like harsh snap between the different shift zones, which does make the car feel a little bit more engaging whenever you're really kind of ripping it. As far as fuel economy goes, whenever you're taking this thing on a road trip, the X550E, once you're out of that original kind of battery zone, does get a little bit worse gas mileage than a regular X540. So on the interstate, you could expect to get probably around like 26-ish miles per gallon whenever the battery is fully drained. But whenever you're driving around town, you'll get that close to 60 miles per gallon. The record I have with all of the X550Es and X545Es that I've sold is 1,800 miles on one single tank of gas, because most of the time people just go ahead and they plug the car in at the end of the day, and then they have a full tank of fuel to then go and drive to work or school or whatever it is you have to drive to. If you kick the X550e into the hybrid mode, basically tries to shut the engine off until you actually need the extra power. So that's how it kind of tricks it into getting that extra fuel economy. A big question we get all the time with the 50Es is, do I need to plug this thing in? Technically no, but you would be much happier if you decided to plug this thing in from time to time. Realistically, if you plug it in once a week and you're driving and you wanted to drive it like a straight gas car, you can, but it's just gonna be a bit of a better experience if you are to be plugging it in at least once a week or what have you, just as it's gonna be able to keep all of the electronic systems up to date and overall just make it a little bit kind of cleaner for your day-to-day use case. Last thing that I want to touch on before I end the video off here is that the car does have the ability to do full self-parking. It can learn how to park in your garage. All of this was available in the 2025 model year. And if you want to watch that video, I'll link that down in the description below as well. Thank you guys so much for 7,600 subscribers now at the time of me recording this video. We're getting close to 10K, and just thank you guys so much. The X550e video is the reason why my YouTube channel is even where it is today. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for following along and watching all these silly car reviews that I do. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.